afternoon, everybody. We are live, and I have the pleasure of introducing Janie Peters, who is
Hello.
a video conference, video confidence on camera coach. So we are going to learn a lot about that and get some tips from her as well, because a lot of us now realize that we need to show ourselves. We need to do Facebook Lives, Instagram Reels, and all that kind of stuff. But a
Mhm.
lot of us lack the confidence to get started with it. So let's dive into the topic. But first, Janie, could you tell us more about yourself and what it is exactly that you do?
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Madeline, for having me. Very happy to be here. I am, yeah, as Madeline was saying, a video confidence coach. I also wear a couple different hats. I'm an entrepreneur, and I got started in the whole video realm in my real estate business because that's how I kind of came into the entrepreneurial landscape and really struggled in my real estate business because I just didn't have the confidence to put myself out there and get my word out. And it was through having a coach urging me to get on video is where it kind of took off for me. And it's been a practice this entire time. But so now in my video confidence coaching, it's all about helping female entrepreneurs, number one, get comfortable and confident on camera and how they look and how they sound. And then the second thing is what I think really has helped me getting confident on camera is just getting grounded in your message, really knowing what you're saying and who you're serving, because ultimately it's about who you serve, not anything about yourself. And it kind of takes the pressure off. So that's my goal. I just want to help as many women entrepreneurs as possible to get that confidence they need to start using video because it's such a powerful medium. And sorry, my I just noticed my makeup's a little messed up here. I'm not crying. I'm very happy. But anyway, so it's just about taking charge of the video realm and getting on camera, because once you can do that, I mean, it really kind of knocks down all borders, right? I mean, I'm coming from Arizona, speaking all the way across the world today. So this is it. This is why video is so important. So anyway.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of us, I believe a lot of us need your services. So tell us, Jenny, who do you help? Is it only women or men and women? And is it only women in the real estate arena or not especially?
It is female entrepreneurs. It just I it's basically I'm helping women who are that just like me, that have a business, that are doing something that they're passionate about, that they created. And because an entrepreneur, it's someone who is just you already have that passion for your business. I mean, but then again, this is right now. I'm still in the early stages of this business, and so I do have plans to help children and take into other areas. But for right now, I'm very focused. My work is very focused on female entrepreneurs and helping them develop their messaging when it comes to speaking to their ideal clients and attracting them.
Okay, okay, that's great. So tell us a bit more about your story. You said it started when you were in real estate, so maybe you're still in real estate. But
Yes.
so why did you have to come on camera for the real estate business? Were you like recording visits, or
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know? For me here, in France, I don't really see real estate agents on camera, so I was just curious.
Yeah, and you know what? Same thing here too. There's not many entrepreneurs in general when you think of the numbers of how many entrepreneurs there are out there in the world, and I don't have that number, but and you look at who's really on camera, who's really developing who's developing their business and getting their message out using video. It's that there's not there's still a lot of space there. Anyway, I'm just kind of
Yeah.
going off on this, but I want to go back to your question of like how I got started and why I needed to do video. This kind of goes back to like like Janie, me as like a kid, like I was always really shy. And so, but I was always really shy, but I also knew that one day I was going to take the stage and speak and inspire. I just had it in me. And then I just life gets away with you. And I spent my 30s having, I got married in my 20s and three sons in my 30s and in corporate America, and I was content with my life, but I wasn't really doing what I knew in my heart that I needed to do in my lifetime. So that's more of like my bigger message is I had to get going, and I always knew I wanted to get on stage. Now, video is a different thing, but video came about because of Facebook. And when I got into real estate, I was told, you need to get on Facebook. And I kind of came onto Facebook kicking and screaming. I'm like, why do I need to be on Facebook? I don't want to. I don't like it. I didn't want a business card with my picture on it. I didn't want any of that stuff. But I knew that in order for people to choose me to represent them in the purchase or a sale of a home, they have to know who I am, and not just know who I am, but they have to trust that I can do the job. And on top of that, they have to like me, because when you are doing business with someone to that degree, you want to really know who that person is. And I had just switched careers. I had been in corporate America for many years, and I was coming out brand new with this business. And so I knew I had it in me to do the job, but video was something that helped others see what I've got. And, because
Yeah,
it's video has a way of getting your message out and letting people know more about you than a smiling photo and some nice caption underneath about, here's Janie, she's a real estate agent in Peoria, Arizona. And it's like for me to get on and start talking and to bring value to people looking to buy or sell a home. That's what I started doing. And so,
yeah,
and yes, what you were saying about not many agents where you're at are on video. Yeah, same thing here. And they're missing a humongous opportunity by not doing that.
yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
believe that. Yeah. So
Mhm,
you went on camera to build that know, like, and trust factor,
mhm,
to show yourself more, as you said, more than just a pretty picture, and for people
mhm.
to have a taste of who you are, how you stand, how you talk, and to give them that, yeah, I know her, I've seen her talk, I like her energy, and those kind of things, right?
Right, right. But I
So
will say also, it's so much more than that. Because yeah, it's definitely been helpful in my business. I can't pinpoint like anything to say like, oh well, this video got me this client or whatever. It's just kind of like you put some things out there, people watch it, people start seeing you, and they feel like they know you, and they start to trust you. And then when the like comes in, then that's a potential future customer. But what it has done for me, especially coming from a place where I've always been kind of shy, was that it gave me this confidence that I have taken into my life everywhere, whether I'm going to the grocery store or I'm going, I'm making meeting with a new client. But just it when you can confidently show up on camera and really be yourself and really grounded in your worth, it is just you carry that everywhere in your life, right? I mean, you
yeah, I
agree?
completely agree with you. I mean, I
Mhm.
started off as a very, very shy kid as well. I think
Mm.
until my 18th or so, I couldn't have imagined talking to someone in the street. I mean, really was not done. And
Mhm.
it took me a lot of years, a lot of time to get out of that and and entrepreneurship really helped me when I became an entrepreneur back in 2008.
Mhm.
It's when I realized I had to go out and network and meet people and talk to them, and that's when I really got out of my shell. But so video is again a different dimension, and for me it's not such a long time that I'm doing videos and Facebook lives. I mean, I met you in those circumstances because we were both in this Facebook group where we had to do lives. And for me, that was really the start. And it was perfect because it was a smaller group. So it was like secure surroundings. And I went from in the space of just a few videos, I went from, oh my God, what am I gonna say? And how is it gonna be? It's gonna be terrible. And just a few videos later, I was like, oh, actually, I like these kind of things.
Right,
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't, just want to say, it doesn't have to take a very long time to build up that confidence as well.
No, I agree. It's just it's a practice, right? It's
Yeah.
putting yourself into the unknown and then you expand your comfort zone. And so the more you do it, just keep putting yourself out there. And I think it's important to look back and watch yourself on camera to see, like where you felt like you could improve or where you're like, yeah, that was me. I feel really good about that because that just builds on your confidence the next time you show up.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Mhm.
so you help women entrepreneurs with that,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So they come to you, and so in what's their circumstances when they come to you? They want to do it. They are shy. They don't dare. They how how are
Yeah,
they when they
sometimes
come to you?
it they run the gamut. I mean, because they can be all over the place. They can be some have said, "You know what? I'm confident on camera. I just don't know what to say, or I don't know how to set up, how to show up right on camera." And so we work on that, and we work on the messaging more. And some of them are like, "Oh my gosh, and I can't do. I don't like the way I sound. I just." Or when they come on camera, they come on like this. Hi, I am so and so, and they feel like they have to put on this big performance in this act, and that's something we need to remove as well because it's all about just getting grounded. So it's all over the place, but it's all centering around using video to build that know like trust factor and to get your wisdom out there into the world to attract your ideal clients.
Yeah. So what you say is there's a lot of different things that you help them with. So you mentioned it's the messaging, or it's maybe how you stand in front of the camera. It's the exaggerating or on the contrary, going how can I say that in English? It's like, is it like, when you are acting and a play, that do you have to exaggerate what you say, or do you have, on the contrary, to minimize
Oh,
it?
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's definitely you want to have good energy. I mean, because there is something that if you just come on and I'm just like if we were meeting face to face and we were just talking, I would not be like, yeah, talking with this kind of enthusiasm. But so you do need to punch it up your energy a bit just to, because people are more attracted to someone who's happy and has good energy. But you want to be mindful of your mannerisms. So this is a close angle here. So you're just kind of head and shoulders. But if the camera was back when I do lives in my group, I like to use hand gestures. And so it's just making sure that everything looks comfortable and not exaggerated. There's times I'm like I said, I'm still a work in progress myself. And I'll look back at some of the videos I've done even recently and where I'm really excited about something and I'll watch it back in silent mode, and I can see myself going like this, and I'm like, "Geez, Janie, just sit on your hands or something, like calm down." And so you have fun with it. But I think the bottom line is if you just be yourself and remove the jitters, because when I first started coming on live, and I really truly believe that going live is the best way to do video. It's not what I did in the beginning because I spent a lot of time recording and editing and way too much time doing that stuff. But going live, I started that November of last year in my community, and it was nerve wracking. I could my body was flooded with heat and I couldn't talk and I'm just so my I was so stiff. I couldn't, and it was just really funny looking back because, like you said, you just start doing it and you just get into practice mode, and then you'll find your way. It can be a little painful in the beginning, but like anything, just like you gotta start and get comfortable in that space. But
Yes.
yeah. And then, there's other things like with speech. That's the thing you were referencing, that 7-day live video where we met. And that was one thing that I noticed right away when I started watching back my live videos, was that I was so uncomfortable with the pause. Like I was talking and rambling and making ums and ahs and laughing or whatever through the entire videos. I'm like, geez, wow. And it was just so eye-opening to watch myself back in that and realize, take a breath, Janie, take a pause, because pauses are very important when they're used correctly. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, because you can be comfortable on camera, but still have things to work on in terms of speaking and communicating and relaying a message, and the order that you provide that information in. So, but the first thing is just get comfortable. Whew, breathe, relax, get that nervous energy out, smile, turn that fear into excitement by just breathing. And it can just kind of, it can make that shift that you need in order to keep going with it and provide your wisdom, provide whatever it
Yes.
is that you want to provide on video.
Yes, and that is needed by the people who are watching us. Yes, definitely.
Yay. Right.
Yeah, but you were right about poses. Poses are so important. And when you want to
Hmm.
emphasize a point, then if you pose just before or just after, then it's like you're putting the apostrophes around
Yeah.
it or the bold character.
Exactly, because people will
Yeah.
listen. When you take that pause, people will automatically, like, listen back. If they were just an autopilot listening to you, you take that pause, they're gonna go back and their mind's gonna figure out, what did she just say? Like, oh, wow, she was really driving home that thought and whatever that message was. And so it's very important that you're not just rambling and speaking in ums and ahs and ands and filler words all the way through. So you'll be, that becomes glaringly obvious when you start getting on video. If you haven't been using video, you'll see it right away, and then you just watch those videos back and just tweak it and keep practicing.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a good point because I tend not to watch them back. Because I
Oh.
think, like most people, I don't like seeing myself on video and hearing myself because it just all feels ridiculous. So but
Hmm.
it would be a good practice to watch myself and to see where I went wrong, or what are the things that could improve. Definitely.
Mhm.
So
Or vice versa, watching back to see where you were like, you just nailed it, where it was like, yeah,
yeah.
I want to do more of that in my videos. Like, I want to bring that part of me out and say things like that. So it's not just like go back and painfully watch how you were so awkward. It is just, I think it's been important for me, but I understand that not everyone watches back their videos because they don't want to go through that. But for me, it's been very helpful in just getting better and getting more comfortable. So maybe it's more of a personal decision.
So, what do you think are the main causes that prevent us from going on camera and doing Facebook Lives and so on? Is it shyness? Is it just because we've never done it before?
It There's so much.
Yeah.
I would say for women, probably primarily women, it is perfectionism pops up.
Mm,
I don't I
yeah.
don't feel like I'm camera ready. I don't feel like I look the right way, I sound the right way. It's the fear of judgment, because and it's real, because when you put yourself out there on video, there's who knows who's going to watch it. But if that's what's showing up for any of you watching, like, I will just say, if you are wanting to get started going live and using video, do it in a space where you control who's watching. Like, so create a small Facebook community and just put your favorite people in there that are just your supporters, who are there just to be an audience to you, so you can get more comfortable and grounded in it. So you're not just like going out into the shark infested waters right from the beginning. You're just kind of like just getting your feet wet and getting used to the technology, because that's a whole other thing that comes up. It's like, oh yeah, there's technology, and then things don't always go right, and sometimes your audio is off from the video, and are we live, or I don't know if we're live. I mean, there's all other things that pop up, so it's best just
Yeah.
to work all that stuff out before you're really coming out and trying to attract your ideal customers wherever they are. But yeah, so it's shyness that pops up, it's perfectionism, it's a lot of just stuff going on, like, it's all in our heads,
Mindset.
really.
Yeah.
It's so mindset. That's like in my course, like there's a whole module section on just mindset, because it is really what shows up is, oh, people get on camera, and like if I'm gonna talk and watch myself, now I'm looking at myself, and that's where people get hung up. They're watching themselves, and they're so into what they look like on camera that they're not really connecting with anybody, and they're so stuck in their head that they're not just grounded in their message and in their value. So I recommend just start filming yourself more and more. I know, Madeline, it's because coming back to watching yourself back, and,
Yes,
and
yes,
really
indeed.
seeing
No,
what
no,
you look like. But
yeah,
but
no, I get the message, and I fully agree. I should, yeah, watch myself. Yeah, completely.
yeah.
So, yeah, and so indeed, there are lots of things that will prevent women like us from,
Hmm.
making their first lives and making their first reels, going on camera. And
Hmm.
there's a lot. There's probably most of it is about mindset, as you said, and some is, oh my god, the technicality of it, or oh my god, do I need a mic, do I need that round thing, the light here, which I
Hmm.
don't have any of those, right? I don't
Mm,
have a mic, I don't have a proper lighting, I'm just trying to have enough light coming to my room, but that's it. I
mhm.
mean, you probably have all the things that you need, but you can still do it without, right?
Well, if you don't have all the stuff, as long as your face is lit up and people can hear you, your audio is good, that's the most important thing. But and clearly you have what you have going on in your setup, that you're good with it and you're comfortable and confident on camera. I i I use a certain external webcam. It's a, what is it, Logitech. There's all kinds of webcams out there, and
Yeah,
so this
yeah,
is just one that I attach to my laptop for a better picture, and it controls the light. But no, in terms of lighting, I just have some desk lamps in front of me, and that is enough. That just brings some light. Like when we first got on, so I'll turn them off. When we first were talking here, I realized, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of in my shadows. So I turn on the lights, and then the camera
okay,
adjusts to
yeah,
it. It got a little hot for a second, but then the camera adjusted, and so now I'm just well lit up. And then it's my mic. So I have a Yeti mic. This stuff is not necessary. I mean, just to show up on camera, your iPhone, like you don't really, and just good lighting, and minimize background noise, and that's really, it's just, you don't need a lot of fancy equipment. I mean, really. And that's at the heart of what I teach. I'm like, don't, because when I first got started in video, I just kept thinking, well, I need to have nice lights, and I got a ring light, then I got box lights, and I got a backdrop with different backdrop panels or whatever, so I could spice up my background, and mics, and just I kept buying and buying and buying, and all I was doing was preventing myself from finally getting on camera, and that's all it was. Like,
yeah,
I have a
yeah.
graveyard of camera equipment. Is ridiculous, and so I'm trying to prevent other women from doing the same thing I did. I spent a lot of money in things that I'm really not using. The external webcam that I'm using, that I plugged in, I think it's somewhere between $50 and $100. And this mic that I have, my Yeti, I love my Yeti. Okay, it was I think it's about $100. So it wasn't that big of an investment, but yeah, you wanna be well lit and sound good, and then that's it.
Yeah,
And then just like know be grounded in your message, because that's the next thing. It's not just, oh, I don't like the way I look, I don't like the way I sound. Yeah, that can pop up, but that can be easily overcome with practice. And then it comes to ongoing content, because once you start using video, don't think of it as one and done. No, you're building a relationship, and you have to keep nurturing that and watering that. You have to keep coming on camera. So don't think that you're done when you finally
no,
make it
it's
and you
just
do
the
your
start.
first live. Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
it's regular ongoing content, as you are doing too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go back
Mhm.
to your clients and you helping your clients. So they come to you
Mhm.
when they've got those blockages, whatever they are,
Mhm.
that prevent them from doing what they feel they need to do, which is going on camera. So,
Yeah.
how long do they work with you for? And do you have do you go one on one, or do you have group programs? How do you work with them?
I've done all of it. So I started this business 2 years ago, May of 2019, and so I've been kind of dabbling all over the place, but where I'm grounded now is I do group training, because group is just the best way, because they're not just learning from me, they're learning from each other. And sometimes I lose sight of the things that pop up early on when you're getting on camera, because I'm far apart from that now, and I've addressed that in the past. And so it's cool when the students will connect with each other
Yeah,
over things that's showing up for them. And so it is providing the material, and then weekly group on, like, coaching calls through, what do I use? I use StreamYard. But it's showing up. It just once a week, and finding out what's going on for all of them, and how they're incorporating the material into their businesses, and what they're doing, and what struggles they're finding. And it just kind of I love the group learning experience. In fact, I'm still working with the first group that I start my beta, because I'm finishing up my online course. And then once I finally, it's almost ready. And once I finally provide that to them, I will be bringing that group to a close. But I tell you, I have so much fun with the group coachings, because the women are just great. And I love the energy, because you might have nervous energy around getting on camera, maybe be a little bit scared, but it's also excitement. And that's what I love, love, love. It's so much different than real estate. There's emotions run high and get very heated in real estate. And so I love the space. So it's really about walking them through it in a group setting. uh, I have done one-on-one, but I really want to focus more on just the group, because it's fun.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's
and
women doing all different things. I mean, there's no, like you had mentioned, real estate. There's a lot in my overall community. There's a lot of realtors in this community, but it's really just anything that you do, because I mean, the demand for video content
yeah,
nowadays is so great, whether it's on your social media platform, whatever you're using, Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever. um, to put a video content vlogs on your website.
yeah,
There's so many needs, or just frankly, just doing virtual calls like this. Maybe you're not using video for your business and putting it out there into the online world yet, but if you're showing up and meeting with people in a virtual setting, which most people are these days, uh, that's important too. How are you showing up? I mean, are you showing up like this, like, "Hi, yeah, I'm right here," and looking off over here, which I see a lot? Or are you, like, f front and center and staring right into the lens, so you're, like, making that connection with the person you're talking to? So there's it's I you can see I have fun with this.
yes, I
I
can
love
see that.
and I
So,
love just being a dork on video, so yeah, go ahead.
how long is your program? Let's
3
go
months, 3 months.
3 months.
3 months is
Okay.
a good chunk of time with weekly group coaching calls and providing all the content, because I want women that come into the program to figure out what their setting is gonna be, work up their little studio. That's the beginning of it, my camera, how are you showing up in the scene and in the frame. And, then it's just, working on, your speech, all that. And then lastly, it's about content. So I want all of my students to walk away from this program with a roadmap. Like, all right, thanks, Janie. See you later. Okay, I'm good to go now. I don't want any, I want everyone to know, here's what you need to do. Just the basics. Let's not overwhelm anybody, because we can easily overwhelm ourselves. Let's just
Yeah.
go
Oh, yeah.
down bare minimum: iPhone, a light, just here's the content, and then the consistency of using video. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much
Perfect.
it. Mhm.
Yeah. And so needed. So,
Mhm.
okay, it's nearly time to stop, but
Aw.
would there be some tips that you could give us before we finish? I mean, you kind of already distilled some during our conversation, but let's just
Uh,
summarize two or three for our
um,
audience.
Tips. I guess I'll elaborate on a tip that I mentioned earlier, but I didn't go into much detail on it. And it comes down to practicing getting on camera. And what I have done, which I feel has really made the difference in me, and I'll say my what I wanted always to achieve was to, when someone who knows me really well sees me on video, they're like, that's Janie being herself. That's totally Janie. She's not putting on an act. And when I've heard those comments from people that I know, I'm like, all right, so I figured out something. Because when I first started using video, I was like, hi. And it was just like, I was so like, not me. I was people pleasing. I was trying to be something else. So I highly recommend recording yourself, videotaping yourself as much as possible. And these are the times to do it: when you are struck with inspiration. So you have a conversation with someone and you're like, wow, that was a really good call. Or you listen to a podcast or something, you have the spark of inspiration and you get excited. Right then, grab your phone and just turn the camera on you and hit record, and just start talking about what it is that inspired you. But don't look at yourself. Don't look at your image on the phone. Don't even look at the phone. Don't look at the lens, because when you see how you naturally talk, then you get grounded in it. Because the hardest thing, I think, for a lot of women is that they don't really know what they look like when they talk, because showing up on video is not like talking to yourself in the mirror. It's different. It looks different. There's been times where I've fixed myself in the mirror. I'm like, all right, I'm ready for the video. And I'm like, what happened? I just came from my bathroom. Like, what? And so it's really just letting go of how you look and just getting into the feeling of when you're talking to your best friend and you're telling them a story, and just going with that energy. And that's been the biggest eye-opening thing for me, because I've watched back these videos and I see how I roll my eyes a lot and I'm really animated with my expressions. And I didn't like that at all when I first started seeing that on video. And now I've tweaked some things, but it's about acceptance. It's acceptance of
Yeah.
who you are, and just capturing your true authentic spirit. And I know I
Yeah.
just talked about one thing. If you have, is there anything in particular that you're looking for a tip on that I can help with? No?
No, how to get started
How to
for
get
the ones
started.
who haven't yet tried it.
Private, hidden, secret Facebook group. Bring in
Yes,
3 of your
exactly.
best friends
Two
and
people
just
in
say, "Hey."
it and
Just say, yeah,
go.
say, "Hey guys, would you mind if I just brought you in this group? I'm not gonna have it for very long. It's just a test ground for me, so I can just start coming on, doing live, and I can get used to what it looks like." Because I started going live directly through Facebook, and then I realized, oh no, I want to do it from Zoom. And then I found out about StreamYard. I'm like, love StreamYard so much more. But there's technical things that you have to get used to and set up. And so I highly recommend just doing it in a very close knit easy, like security blanket, like just be comfortable when you first start doing it so you can just get grounded in showing up on camera, because technical problems happen all the time to no matter what your skill level is and coming up on camera, you are going to have technical issues and you're going to have to figure them out. If you can avoid that in the beginning when you're still just trying to get used to being on camera and being like, am I live? I don't, oh no. It's like that. I think that would help. So by the time you're really showing up in your communities and whatever your platforms are, that you're just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more polished.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Janie. It was such a nice conversation, and thank you very much for all your advice and for what you're doing for those women. So I will put the links for them to reach out to you and join your program, maybe.
Hmm.
I will put the links in the comments of this video. And yeah, again, thank you so much for being my guest today. I enjoyed it very much. And
Thank you
I am
for
sure
having
our
me.
audience too.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So have a great day and a great week, everyone, and see you soon for a new episode.